Ignited souls, we are waking up to a new creation. Hello, my beautiful ignited souls. I am Crime Queen, your partner in crime. Okay, and it's like, well, two crimes because it's the crime of self love. You know, when you really want to love yourself and someone thinks, oh, you're only being selfish. I remember actually buying my car, the Figaro. If you know what the Figaro is, the Nissan Figaro. I remember deciding I have worked hard and long enough that now I'm going to buy a car that I could really enjoy. Well, I suppose I always wanted to enjoy cars anyway. But this was like a two-seater, although you could still fit kind of two small people in the back, but it is a sports car. And my best friend actually said to me, yes, I understand she had kids and I had a son and I have lots of nephews and I did think about them. But I remember my best friend at the time said, I think anyone who buys a sports car is selfish. And I kind of pondered on that, but felt, I'm not going to let this stop me from buying my car and enjoying it. And I loved that car. Yes. So I feel, just imagine you're on this planet Earth for as long as I have been here. And I ought to really think about buying a car. Each time I would change a car, to think about other people all the time, what they really would want, or how important, or how I could facilitate them instead of facilitating my sinful notion of driving my sports car by myself. Okay, so I think, life is for living. Experience it. Okay. If I go along the way and think, well, that was selfish or whatever. No, but then that gave me a moment's silence that I didn't have the kids all, oh, I want to come, I want to come, I want to come. Some time for a break. So, this is for self love. And the other one is, of course, for creativity. So, of course, they're interlinked because loving yourself permits you the gateway to be as creative as you can be. And of course, the more you are creative, the more you have of yourself to share with others. So you may not really be sharing with others through a sports car or driving them around. Can you drop me down the road? I'm running late. Can you pick me up? No, but you can perhaps facilitate them, like saying, well, I know you've been walking quite a lot. Come have a cup of tea. Okay. So, this is, I'm going to attempt, I'm saying attempt because I tend to have this way of so much download comes, and I want to share everything with you because this is where I'm really generous, and I want to share everything with you. And so I've got to get the gods to say, okay, just calm down now. We are beginners in this sphere, in this place. So we are going to do numerology part 2, and on the first part of numerology you learned about, because this is numerology and spirituality. So, they are hand in hand as far as I'm concerned, because in the beginning God created the heavens and the earth. The word heaven equals 1 and the earth equals 7. 1 plus 7 equals 8. Right. So this is how you're going to get it in between, because the serpent, there's a serpent around that, and you don't see a serpent often like a snake going just like a straight rod, like the rod of Moses. It's often that we associate them with being very flexible. Okay, but we will try and lead you in the straight and narrow path, or the straight path. Okay. So we learned about the sacrifice because everything we do on this spiritual fair or teaching is around sacrifice. We did conclude that sacrifice comes in like everything we do. You eat a meal, it's delicious, but you have to pass it out. You have to wash up, you have to go do the shopping, which you'd rather not. Everything. It's like everything. You go to sleep and it's really sweet, but yeah, you've got to wake up if you want to enjoy something else. So you leave the bed behind. And that's how it is. So sacrifice equals 46. And we are talking, in case you're new to all of this and new to spirituality, so this is like around the story of Jesus Christ. Now I won't say too much on this because we'll be taking things step by step, introducing the spiritual teachings as we go along. And what we are doing here is to get you to expand your mind in the a sense that you can be as creative as you want to. And it's almost like there is no end, like the serpent, because that's what the serpent was about. The serpent was created in the garden, hence we are here right now as sinners. Okay, so numerology we learn is comes with these two instruments or two tools, which is numbers and letters. So why I am emphasizing about self-love and creativity, you will learn in this session, in this teaching, that the letters, just like you are creating any word from the alphabet, of course. So you had cat, but you'd have to go where is T? You'd have to go CAT. It's funny that I got an angle right here as well. So you'd have to, I just learned something here as well. So you'd have to do this. This is cat. So basically you pick the letters out and, you create with it. Likewise, what the 14 gods that I have encountered, or we are the embodiment of, to be more precise, what the gods are saying in numerology to find a deep wisdom that they want to pass on to us is that we do not necessarily need to follow this format of how the letters are in how they are positioned here. For instance, AJS, we can move the J up here. We can have the S here and vice versa. So that's what they were showing me. But having said that, they also showed me that on this template, for the wisdom that they want to pass on, I was not permitted to touch all the letters, meaning to reposition all these letters as on the template. And so I'm going to show you why I'm showing you this, so you can have the bedrock of the teaching here to understand these whole series that I have been doing. So in case you watch another video and you think, oh well, why is the J here and so on, and the B is not here, because I'm sure B comes after A, and so why? And so this is what I had been blessed with, the empowerment to realize that I don't have to follow everybody else, because what it is in being creative, it's like a baton has been handed to us. It's like your ancestors have given you a gift and they say, my child, you run with this and you take it and you work it, because it's like what they call the human race. So they've done their bit and now they've handed that bit onto me or onto us, and that has come in a time and a season. And so every season carries its own culture, its own characteristics. 2020 is very much that. It's like setting foundation. That's what we are here to do. So this is I'm really wanting to keep this short, and maybe I'll just be explaining this much here right now, and to do another part, to have this like part 2 might be 2A or 2B, because I really want to show you and not make it much longer. So let's see how we get on. So, and the main thing to bear in mind, as I said, is that numerology is a key. And now that's why we're under the lockdown, and that's why you need to use numerology to unlock yourself. Okay. So we have the numbers go from 1 to 9. We have the alphabet here and so on. We can see this. We have done the word sacrifice, which comes to 46. And of course, it is 10. Now you will see as well, perhaps you have watched one of my videos on Joe Biden and with number 10. But I also speak about 10 a lot, with where we have seen in the scriptures, for instance, Mother Eve, who encapsulates the 14 gods, that which we are. So that's why it is said that we are of Eve, Adam and Eve, but Eve encapsulates. She is the mother of all living. Okay, so Mother Eve used her spell. I call it the book of spell, the Holy Bible, the version of the King James version of the Holy Bible. I will often refer to it as a book of spells or a book of magic, and I don't mean this in just a dark way. I mean this holistically. However, magic equals 6, and we equals 6, so we are magical. You are magnificent, and all these words are relative or relating. Okay. So, in fact, the word perfect as well equals 10. And I have this one here, which kind of reminds me of the Matrix with Neo in room 101. Let's just take this off. Okay, so this is the fun you can have with numerology. This is what you can do. And so I'll show you now what happened when I was constructing this, and you will see that maybe not in this context, but the gods have been speaking to you in your work, in your studies, in other things, and where you have had to face questions like saying, oh, but no one does it like that. But the gods are saying, no, but you can do it like that. And yes, they will say to you, oh, yes, you are doing the same thing that Eve had done, and she had committed the sin and so on. It was all planned like this. There was a plan. That's why there's the planted God, the God of planting, and the God of creation. And the word creation has the word art in it. Art, there is no end to it. Act as well, or create, or artistic, all of those things are there for us to find ourselves through them. And they are the gods. Don't you know ye are gods? This is what Christ, according to the story, really said. And I have a wonderful, or maybe two, at least 2 videos on that. Don't you know you are gods? This is mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. So, numerology is here to empower you. So here we are. This came through, this method or construct came through just the idea of wanting to have fun. And so I could remember, this is what I wanted to do, remember. And I will tell you, even having said that, this is how the gods work. When I say, oh, I want to remember, I am very, I have clairvoyance. I would hear the God saying, remember, meaning you have been a member before, and now you are reapplying, you are reigniting, you coming again. So remember you are a creative being, so you can do this. And also for the teaching that we are about to get, they are also saying listen. And when I hear listen, it's like the serpent is in my ear saying, listen, it's like a serpent spitting out. Listen. And yes, so I could choose to say, oh my, this is the devil. I am not sure I really want to know about this. Or, yes, I went to church and they said, oh, when you had the serpent and the serpent was the evil one and so on, the serpent was bad and the serpent was this and the serpent was a lot of things, and no one is really saying, well, why God being so good? Why didn't he just destroy the serpent one time and so on? No, this is all orchestrated this way. So I'm just going to, we on 16 minutes, and I feel I'm going to really, I'm going to wrap this one up, so to speak, like wrap it up like it was a present. And of course, the word present is the same letters talking about construct. So talking about construct, we have serpent, serpent, and we have present. You hear a lot about being present, but you have a gift. So present, present, and no one tells you that actually the serpent was the present because it was present in the Garden of Eden as a gift to give us language, to give us understanding, to give us wisdom. Hence, now the same scriptures say to you, seek wisdom. The same Bible, it says, one of my favorite texts actually, seek wisdom. And above all things, it says, seek understanding. So we have seen where wisdom falls in here. Wisdom falls in number 5. And do join me again when I show you a little bit more and how this was constructed. So this I will call like part 2. We could call it part 2 or part 2AB something. But I hope you get it. My ignited souls, I'm happy that you are joining me, and let's just do it. Let's unlock ourselves. Never mind all this down, up, lock, unlock. Okay, and stay ignited and united as much as possible. Thank you for joining me again for more on numerology and